What's up guys, it's Flip and welcome back to the channel. Ever since Warzone released, it's pretty much been a common goal amongst all players, regardless if you've been playing Call of Duty for years or it's your first time, and it's to improve your game. In the time that Warzone has been out, there's been various metas varying from the movement or weapons used. We also have to keep up with the new trends and evolve with these times, so today we're breaking down a handful of mistakes that players make and basically how to avoid them or fix them altogether. So if you do enjoy the video at any point, make sure to let me know by dropping a like on it and subscribing if you are new and want to keep up to date with all the latest Call of Duty news, leaks, updates, tips and tricks, with notifications turned on to know when I next upload. Now, getting into the tips, I feel like the majority of players have done these at least once, and I'm going to be telling or showing you how to avoid them in the future. Now, talking about the new gulag first, I must say that I'm not a huge fan of the snipers in the gulag, as it's close quarters with long range weapons, other than the standard fists. Speaking of the fists, when most people get a gun they don't like, they usually turn to meleeing the opponent when they're close enough. But it takes 4 punches with no gun in your hand, whereas it only takes 2 hits with. So if you are going to start to melee someone, make sure to have your gun out, as it will be in your favour compared to your opponent. Let me know down in the comments which you thought were the better loadouts in the gulag, the pistols, SMGs and ARs, or the snipers. Now, coming back from the gulag is vital, and choosing the wrong contract could cause your game to come to an end fairly quickly. It's the quick decision to know which is going to benefit your team the most. Bounties are pretty much out of the picture, because you're not going to have a weapon, so you're not going to want to be pushing teams with your pistol. Recons aren't that great either, as they reveal your location to the enemy within a certain distance and they show a beacon in the sky. Depending on how many contracts you have already done in that game depends on how much money you also get back from the contracts, and you don't get much from the recons anyway. Now we've got the most wanted, which can be great if it spawns near a vacant chopper and you can just fly around the edge of the map or sit on top of a stadium, but it can be quite a lengthy and boring process. This leaves supply runs and scavengers, and both are great ways to get back in the game. My personal favourite is the Scavenger, as you can get money from the crates as well as completing the contract itself. This gives you the opportunity to buy your teammates back as you're looting to get it done much faster, and it also doesn't give the opposition any indication that you're doing it other than them seeing the contract disappear off the map. Supply run is also feasible, as you get 1 free buyback and you don't have to do much other than travel to another buy station. A vehicle makes this so much easier, but be careful of RPGs in C4. Now the next tip is to do with the new Stimulus Trios mode. What you should be doing as soon as you drop is finding a buy station and dropping all of your cash and getting a loadout. This makes it so much easier to approach teams, as you know you'll have an upper hand and can loot houses along the way, gaining cash as you move towards the zone or other squads. Later on in the game, you're going to have enough cash to get deployed back anyway, and it's going to be more impactful, so get your loadout and rush from people. Next up is to do with the monolithic suppressor. Now we all know it is one of the best attachments in the game, if not the best. However, for some guns it's not. For example, on the Odin the Colossus suppressor is better, the MP5 monolithic integral suppressor, and on the Fennec you'd want to use the Dead 4 barrel. These are the only guns that would not benefit from the monolithic suppressor attachment. Another attachment other players are using that has changed recently is the no stock. Before the 1.23 update, it was widely different from what it is post patch. In the medium to long range gun battles, it is seriously going to throw your aim off much more than it did before. I would only really recommend the no stock attachment when you know you're going to be in close quarters combat, where the recoil of your weapon isn't going to be impacted as much, compared to trying to headshot someone from 60 or 70 meters away. Engaging a team is also very important, and it could be the difference between life and heading back to the gulag. The most common mistakes players make is all pushing from the same angle or same entry. This is very predictable. Whereas using multiple angles at the same time, pushing as a unit is very hard to keep track of where you are, and hard to cover yourself as it makes the enemy get pinned and caught off guard. Now these next tips are very specific and are caused by a lack of knowledge, meaning that you couldn't know you could do them or didn't know they could happen. When you have an airstrike or cluster and you know the team is on top of the roof, instead of aiming it at the top of the building, therefore alerting the enemy team that they have a cluster incoming, If you point it at the floor below where they are, they will not get notified. It's also important, if you see a nearby crown on the map indicating a most wanted, you can mark them and it will show you their elevation on your screen, and it will act like an active ping. This is useful for where you don't know where they are, whether they're on the top floor or camping in the shower on the bottom. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you've learnt something and you won't fall for these tricks again. These are just a few of the mistakes you should avoid in Warzone and how to counter them. Like I said before, if you did enjoy the video at any point or learn anything new, make sure to let me know by dropping a like on it, and subscribe if you are new and want to stay up to date with all the latest Call of Duty news, leaks, updates, tips and tricks, with notifications turned on to know when I next upload. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Flip. Peace.